Almeria. Home to 200,000 residents and nestled on the Spanish Mediterranean coast, it's a working city of history, rich culture and architecture. Of course, being a modern city, it cannot escape the plagues of graffiti, small trains and e-scooters. But that's not why you're here. Just swallowing my fish oil.
Hola!
Hola, señor!
¿Cómo está?
And welcome to Road Bike to Race Bike. So, the previous episode we revealed this beautiful factory, totally stock Yamaha R1, and throughout this year we're going to be doing some upgrades on the parts to it to help improve the lap time of not only our bike, which we hope to race at the end of the year, but hopefully this will translate into your bikes as well. So yeah, we're ready. We're ready and excited.
So we're here at Almeria at the Hafenegger Ren training, basically like a race camp. 3 days here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we're going to test every single component. So we've got these upgrades and we're going to time the positive or the negative it brings to the lap time. So we started off, we've just been for a few sighting laps, a few sighting sessions. Bike feels really good actually, way better than I was expecting.
Really good, really nice.
Except for one little area.
Yeah, and that is the brakes. We mentioned it on the last video. It's bordering on dangerous, isn't it, really? So we really need to address those as soon as possible. And then the other thing, this is obviously on standard road tyres that it comes with. So we want to upgrade to something a bit more grippy and a bit more racy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we haven't touched the bike. It is in bog stock trim. It's got the standard RS11 tyres, which are great road tyres. But of course, when you come to 25-degree heat in Spain on a track, you sort of feel their limitations straight away. So we're going to get some R11s on next, I think.
I've had worse days.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, and also worth saying. So this particular event, we're down here for 3 days. We're going to be trying to focus on the best bang for buck for these parts. So we're trying to keep it under £1,000, which is
really hard.
Really difficult, as you know, in race world. Bike parts are extremely expensive. We've also got some free mods to do as well, which we'll talk to you about coming up. So enjoy this wonderful video and this wonderful motorcyclette.
There's wonderful people.
And wonderful men.
Vamos!
So we saddled up and headed out for a few laps to check out what this bad boy's got. Sadly, I did have some GoPro issues, so this one's over to Al for his informative commentary.
So, this is bog stock, absolutely Harry Boggers. The only thing we've adjusted is the tyre pressures. Everything else is Harry Boggers. Right. Oh bloody hell, I haven't been in a few years. Oh, something on the track already. I haven't been here since the last time I rode here was on the S-Rad on the Budget Bike Battle. And we're sharing groups today. So Chris is out in the fast. And I'm in the Inters, and the Inters is quite Inters, shall we say. This is where the standard brakes really aren't up to much. I mean, these tyres are perfect for sort of novices and beginners because they warm up quickly, loads of feel. Fucking hell. Oh my god, that's scary. Oh fucking hell, mate. Oh my god. Oh my fucking word. Problem is now you're up against guys with slicks on and they just beast you in the corners and then hold you off everywhere else. I'm going to drop back a bit. Oh, stop, you bastard. Oh, there's a woman with a bikini on. Don't get that in Camwell. Well, you do, but it's yeah. The rear's getting pretty squidgy now. Squidgy. Good luck out there. You'll see what I mean in a minute.
Everything all right mechanically?
Yeah.
Good. That's what we like to hear. In bog stock form, Al set the early pace of a 150 with a bit of inters traffic, and I managed a clear lap of a 148. So our average benchmark time in standard trim is a 149. Right, so first GYTR part, we should have put this on at the beginning of the day, but this is, it's quite boring really, but it's a safety feature. This is I believe, the brake guard, lever guard, and yeah, there we go. Nice Gillies tooling bit, yay.
Hello, we're 44 Teeth and this is our Yamaha R1.
And we're going to show you how we protect and look after it with the specialist motorbike range from WD-40. Who's going to do what? I want to do the weight.
Okay, I'll get dirty. Okay, yeah. Let's go.
Okay. Right, so I'm going to go for the wax and polish. This does actually excite me a bit too much. Here we go. Oh, look at that. And then you leave it on there to have a little bit of a rest, bit of a lie down. And then this is the satisfying bit.
Oh yeah.
And then when we're a bit matte, I then get the dry cloth and then give it a... Oh my God.
Oh my word.
Wow. That actually looks really good. And black paint particularly is really hard to maintain and look after. But when it's clean and glossy, there's nothing better. Over to you.
Well, RS11's out, R11's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a British. We must have very different braking styles, don't we? Because I mean, I can feel the ABS kicking in.
Yeah, I can feel it, but it's not. I can still get the rear of the bike out moving around.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I think I'm a bit more gentle on it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah, that's the main issue for me. And then tyres, the mid corner, it's just going wide everywhere, isn't it? Like you just can't. There's not enough confidence to go. It's going to go in there. And the hotter they get as well. A road tyre, once it starts getting super hot, it's fucking gone. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So those two should be a big difference. But the bike's really fast. Like, I overtook on the straight. It wasn't on camera, of course. But some proper race bikes. This is a. But yeah, so tyres out.
Tyres out. But I mean, what time did you do on these?
I did a 48.1.
Oh fuck me! On these tyres?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's not bad, is it? That's decent.
I think we've yeah.
I mean, that's going to be at least another couple of seconds on the R11, so.
Yeah.
Vamos. So, this is the RS11. This is a stock tyre that comes on the R1. Great road tyre, great sporty road tyre, heats up nicely. We did the mega test on the Isle of Man with these, and honestly, as a road tyre, it transformed the Ducati. It was much better than a lot of OE tyres on stock bikes. But now, you know, to do a 48, whatever it was, on road tyres, on these tyres around here on a stock bike is amazing. But we've reached the limitation. So, step up, the R11. So this is the racing tyre. This is not road legal. I mean, although it's got tread, it's still defined as a road legal tyre, although it's not road legal. So this is, for me, the front tyre, this front R11 is the best treaded front tyre out there by a mile. It's like a slick, essentially. And there's loads of feedback on the side of the tyre, full lean. It's really, really planted, not a lot of movement, but there's that feedback there as well. So we're gonna get these on. My prediction is it'll be a 46, I reckon, with these on. Perhaps even lower, so let's go.
It's actually really difficult with them, though, right?
Yeah, it is.
Do you want a hand there, bud?
I don't know what I'm doing, really.
No, I know you don't.
Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Well done.
Thanks. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Decent rubber.
Unlocking
and,
it.
Yeah, it's the confidence, isn't it? And
yeah.
if you haven't got any confidence, then just forget it.
Right, let's see what it's like with these R11s then. I can safely say it's going to be tastily better. Thank you, sir. Oh, the roll speed is massive. Just that confidence straight out of pit lane. Oh, baby. Oh my word, this is sex. Imagine when we get the slicks on. The front tyre, this, as I said, is without doubt, I think, the best front treaded tyre in the game. Just that confidence to chuck it in off the brakes now. I'm not really a fan of this track. I think it's hard work in 1,000. There are definitely better tracks to go to, that's for sure. But as a test track, it's fucking brilliant. Oh, got some traffic on here, Nige. Just the confidence, never mind the grip. It just gives you confidence straight away. And that's what you need on the track. We've got the ABS setting in the raciest, we take a lift off, but it's much nicer. Just hold it on the limiter and brake. Ooh, get a bit keen. Wow, this is a physical track. This is a physical track. You know about it. You know when you're riding one of these things. Jesus, Mary and Joe. It's a bit quicker than the S-Rad. That's so much better with that TC.
Okay, so now we've got the tyres on, we need to take these Hero blobs off, which should give us a bit more ground clearance because we're...
Got no toes left.
Got no toes left. James Toesland. And that's free.
Free mod.
Al's first attempt on the R11s yields a decent improvement to a 146.6. I was languishing in the 147s, and if I'm honest, I didn't really gel with the new feeling from this tyre. It took me a while to get used to the grip, which sounds a bit strange, but the difference just a tyre can make to a bike is huge. Anyway, I battled the traffic and plopped in my fastest time of the day, which was a 146.2, only 2 seconds advantage for me over the standard tyre. It's worth noting at this point that the phone app lap timer we're using is not as accurate as the official transponder times at the circuit, which we are using for the test's official times. The phone is a good guide and handy for us to see while riding. Al pushed on and smashed in a 1:46.1, which is a massive improvement to the time he set on the road tyres. After a successful day one, we earned a cold beer and a little sit down.
Day one dons the sack.
Nobody fell off. Quick shout out to Bimoto for covering our beautiful new R1 with their track day insurance policy. As you'll see coming up, these things can definitely come in handy.
Shit.
It's always a good day.
It's always a good day. Yeah, survived another one.
Especially when you get free beer afterwards. This is let's just do a quick shout out to I can never get it right. Hafenegger. It is it's definitely one right up there with the most premium track experience.
Oh, without doubt. Unless you go like some extreme launches where there's been one bike on tyre warmers and you've got a factory mechanical that sort of thing. But in terms of a track day race day, this is without doubt the best. This is so good, and they've been uber helpful.
And we have paid.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, this is not an ad.
This is not an ad. We're just genuinely these guys. They're losing money actually coming here, but they want some UK people. So we highly recommend. We'll put a link in the description. Amazing. We even had like a free lunch in there today. Like they had a whole thing. Anyway, it's amazing. But anyway, back to bikes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really impressed generally with how the bike behaved and how good it was,
how fast it was,
and how fast
we don't know the exact time, but you did a 1:45 here on a BMW with slicks on, which had been fettled at
the brand new 2023 competition pack,
carbon wheel,
slick shod bimmer. So and you did a 1:46.1. Yeah, was that the time?
Both 46 deads we did.
Both 46 deads?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, there's a 45 in there, I think, with those R11s on, but it is pretty leery. And as we said, I think we're testing a bike and we're keeping a bit in the bank because we're testing, and we have to remain consistent. And there is definitely a 45 in there. It is hot, and that rear is overheating slightly.
It's not that hot though, but I think we maybe just had the pressure's too high. We'll drop it down a bit tomorrow and see. Because it definitely works better when it's cooler. Like the first few laps are definitely quicker. But generally, so let's just do a quick recap then. We'll try not to keep you too long.
Yeah.
So the first thing we did our stock laps, and we did on the stock bike it was a 48, which was way faster than it should have been. Really, that was maybe a bit of a fluky lap.
No, but that's the time. That's what it was, 48.
That's the time. Yeah.
So, and then what did we do after that? We just put tyres on.
Basically, we just put the tyres on. And we got 2 seconds straight away.
Yeah.
And we're not on the slicks yet.
No.
And we're predicting another second probably on the slicks.
I think at least a second. But I think with the R11s on there, it's highlighted some suspension issues. The stock suspension is very soft. We're going to change that tomorrow. That's part of our comfort plan, and it's free, isn't it?
And that is free. We're not going to put any parts in the suspension. No. This is something that you guys can do to your bikes. Have a play with it. Like, you can't break it. Don't worry about it. Just get in there. You can always put it back to standard if you don't like it. So, like, your manual for your bike will have in there all the stock suspension settings. So go in there, have a fiddle, and understand what these things actually do. Don't look at them like, oh my god, don't want to touch it. Go and touch it.
Yeah, if it's diving too much, stiffen it up. If it feels stiff, soften it up. If we were talking earlier about we're fighting rear grip now.
Yeah.
So we need to. The plan is to raise the front, so flatten make the forks flat with the yokes, and have more weight on the rear. Because that bike, the R1 is so quick steering. And there's nothing. I'm not going. Oh, I need it to turn quicker.
No, definitely not.
No. So especially with the slicks go on as well, I think that will also improve. But look, if it works, as you said, if it works, brilliant. If it doesn't, go back to what you had before. There's no right or wrong with suspension. I think that's something we'll get into tomorrow. But.
Yeah, and also worth noting the profile of the R11 is taller at the rear.
Yes.
So it's put even
nosier.
more
Yeah.
weight on the front. But anyway, yeah. So it's look, we've got day one out of the way now. We've got used to the track. We've got used to the conditions. Got used to the bike. And I'm at the point now where the handlebars are probably one of the biggest issues for me. Tyres aside, what else have we done? We've just sort of we've actually played with the traction control settings on the bike.
Yeah.
And we went too far, didn't we? Took too much out.
Yeah.
And then it was like, this is wild.
It's wild.
It's wild. So we then ended up pumping it back in. I think we got a pretty good setting.
Yeah. And
interesting on that, the newer R1s, there's 2 different ABS modes, and it's made a massive difference.
Yeah.
Massive. I'm not getting much ABS interference, but we do have different riding styles. You're much quicker and harder on the brake.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm more of a progressive brake.
Yeah.
So that upsets the bike more.
And the suspension is soft, so that makes it worse. So it's pitching, and there's weight transfer, which obviously makes it worse. So again, the whole point of this is developing the bike throughout the 3 days, and hopefully we'll have something not perfect. Nothing's ever perfect on a stock bike, especially, but you can work with a stock bike. The suspension works. Everything is there for a reason, and these bikes are, this R1. It's not the sort of most technology. What's the word I'm looking for? Technologically advanced. That's the one. Thanks, Chris. But it still has some fascinating technology. But the suspension and things like that, it's a little bit behind the likes of the BMW and everything else. So.
Yeah, but it's still doing the lap times.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And it actually feels really exciting.
Yeah,
honestly,
exciting is the word. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the problems. Again, when we go onto slicks, it's going to highlight the other problems even more. Like on a road tyre, you can sort of ride round it and go, well, actually, the way the clip-ons are, the way the rear sets are, it's all right, it's fine. Yeah. But then when you start getting more grip, then you start having to brake harder. And there's sections of this track where it feels like my shoulder's about to pop out of its socket. It's so difficult and really draining. But we're going to run you through those in the next days. We don't have any clip-ons with us, so we'll just have to put up with that for this test, but that'll be on the next one. So tomorrow we're going to put some new brake pads in it.
Z04, Brembo Z04s from the GYTR parts list.
Yeah, and that's I think they're 60 odd quid, something like that.
I don't know more than that. But anyway, the Z04s, if you don't know, Z04s are the daddies. There's nothing beats Z04s. They're quite bitey, so again, suspension.
ABS might have a issue.
Yeah, but in terms of power and feel, and they are nothing beats Z04s. So.
Which is going to again highlight the other negatives
of
gripping the bike.
Yeah.
The other thing I really want is a tank pad. I feel like I'm slipping off, but yeah, it's so far pretty impressive.
C'est bon.
I mean, what's it going to be like when we get the proper parts in later in the year?
Oh, just worth mentioning actually. So there's 55 riders here or something, and the top 4 are all Yamahas. And in fact, most of them are Yamahas.
Yeah.
And Aprilias and Ducatis. There's not many, for a German company.
I've seen one BMW.
Yeah.
And we're second fastest time of the day, which is a 1:46 dead, and we're like within a tenth of each other, isn't it? Pretty much. We're basically the same speed, which is really interesting because we have different styles, different bits we don't like, different gears. You're doing it totally different gearing.
Oh yeah, I mean, how his gearing for me, I just can't. It's horrible, absolutely horrendous.
Well, I think yours is horrible.
But yeah.
I mean, and that's another thing about this test. It's so difficult to do a test like this with absolute scientific, factual input and times and deltas, because two different riders ride the bike so differently, so different parts are going to work better for other riders. But I think you carry more lean angle in the corner, so you do need higher rear sets, whereas I'm not really struggling that much on the rear set, so I would choose my budget to go maybe to handlebars or whatever, which I'm really struggling with because I'm quite broad and masculine. But yeah, it's bloody good fun. Yeah.
I need some bloody food though. That's the problem. You come to a track day and you don't eat the lunch because you're going out straight after lunch, and we haven't got that problem tomorrow.
I had lunch. Maybe that's why I was really slow after lunch. Had a nice chicken and rice.
Right, I need a beer. Avanti, vamos.